well done, Rudresh. But we have to give Aji Channel the credit, right? So thank you, Aji. You did great. And so did you, Vaishali. Wonderful. So Vaishali, you're going to do your prayers now, right? And after that, we're going to tune our mind to listen to Pandaji.
Everybody join with Miss Vaishali.
Eat well, everyone. Om Bhagwan Tatsavitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhagwan Tatsavitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhagwan Tatsavitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Shakti 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 Hari
Well done, Vaishali. Well done. At this time, we are going to fix our mind. And if you look around, you'll see a lot of beautiful pictures of Bhagwanji, Hanumanji, Lord Shiva, especially Lord Krishna. And I'm emphasizing a lot on Lord Krishna because Mom always say that's my Bhagwan.
Look at him. Baby Krishna. I talked to him.
So at this time, I'm going to hand the mic over to Vandaji. And let us listen to some wonderful nectar from the Bhagavad Gita.
So today we are going to look at the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, and Siri painted such a beautiful picture that you look at all those beautiful pictures and you see the beautiful form of Bhagwan. Today I'm going to depict a different kind, a form that is a little different than those you see there. So let us talk about that form today. The question always arises, and I'm so happy to have Mananti's presence here today. We all need to be mindful. We all need to be mindful of something that is very important. We need to be mindful of our mind. And this topic I have chosen because this is a time when we should look past the physical body and to realize that we need to look at ourselves differently. We need to look at ourselves differently. We need to look at ourselves. Today, I've done tremendous amount of digging and searching over many years on the subject matter of the mind. And I thought at some point we need to start looking at ourselves not as a physical individual, and we need to focus on the higher self. But to focus on the higher self, there is a middling point, and that middling point is called the mind. The mind is discussed extensively by our great saints and sages. And today, the scientific world is very much intrigued by the mind. Our saints and sages have been talking that this body is like a Russian doll. You know what the Russian doll is? Anybody ever seen a Russian doll? So a Russian doll is this nice, fat-looking lady from outside that you can screw it open, and when you pull the opening, there is a identical looking fat lady inside the fat lady. And when you take out that one and you pull that one open, you see one exact fat lady inside the fat lady. And so you will open and open and open until when you reach in the core, there is still a fat lady in there, but you can't open that one. That one is solid. So the fat lady that we're looking at, the reason why I'm not saying fat man, everybody know why.
But you know why, right?
Yes.
Well, the Russian people.
Yeah, they're gonna start looking at me, you know? So we don't want that right now. Anyhow.
You got doll.
Yeah. Oh, doll. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, you know, when we go deep down into this self of ours, we realize that there is that one that we can't open. It is solid. And that inner self is so beautiful, and it is always blissful. The problem with us in this life is we never go past the fat lady outside. We always meddle and deal with the one outside, and we never open it to realize that deep down inside there is one that is totally, totally, totally serene, peaceful, and beautiful. The one that is outside is very turbulent and requires lots of maintenance. And so for that reason, we spend a whole lifetime maintaining and taking care of it until one day it just says bye-bye. It leaves you and it is gone without us realizing that the thing that we needed the most is not at the surface, but it is in the core. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to look at the mind for a little bit. Science is at a crossroad right now where they're asking this question repeatedly. And not that they have not asked it before, but they asked it before in such a way that you think the person who asked it was mad. His name was Freud. You know, Freud was one of the very first person to ask that question. And Freud was talking about the mind. And the things he spoke about the mind, you would wonder. And today, more and more psychologists are going deeper and deeper and deeper to understand the mind. But we're going to ask some simple questions, and you will find the simple answers. And so scientists today are trying to ask, what is the mind? Because in the United States today, we have more mad people. In Guyana, we used to say we put them in mental asylum. And once they're locked away from the normal people, then, you know, the normal people can go on living normally. The problem with us now is majority of people that is living seemingly normal lives are actually abnormal. So this is introspection, we call it. So when this Katha is done, you can decide which side of the fence you're on. You know, in New York City, for example, you see more crazy people walking the streets and sitting around, and you wonder. Not that these people lack intelligence. Some of them who are actually on the street were very, very, very intelligent people who have actually lost their mind. So we know one thing. We can lose it too. So if we can gain it and we can lose it, then it is something probably tangible. So science is asking, is it tangible? And science come to realize that the mind is nowhere in this physical body. So science has come to realize that the mind is nowhere in this physical body. But it has a seat, and the seat is our, brain and our, it operates through our senses, but it is something that is seemingly external. So it seems like your mind is not with you. So I don't know how you can lose it. So the question is asked, that is your mind universal or individual? That is, there's light there. And I can see with the same light, and all of you can see with the same light. Which means the light is one central element of luminosity that is giving out light. And all of us can utilize the same one element to see. If you have 20/20 vision like I do, I bought bionic ones, then you might see things differently. If you have failing vision, same light is there, but you would not be able to see things the same way the other person sees. And if there is one blind person that is sitting among us, obviously, that individual would not even know which direction the light is coming from. So is our mind a central external object from which we all take energy based on our own abilities? Or it is individualized? I have my own and you have your own. Light can be a good way to describe it. Water, air, space, earth, all of these are elements that we all take from at different range and degrees. Children goes to school, and some comes with A, and some comes with Z. Same teacher, same subject matter, different level of grasping, and who do we blame? The teacher. Rain falls. Rainfall, it is pure water falls. Everybody complains. Pure water falls. It falls in the neighbor's yard and it washes into my yard, and I blame the neighbor for their dirty water coming into my yard. So we tend to realize that if mind is one universal element, we will not see the divinity in it, we will not see the beauty in it. We will only see based upon our ability to enjoy and to understand it. मन एक बार हरि बोल,
एक बार हरि बोल,
हरि 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 बोल,
हरि 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 बोलो,
हरि 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 बोल,
हरि हरि हरि
So all of us were having a conversation right there. We were having a conversation, and I was conversating with who you think? Not you. I was conversating with my mind. Man ek baar hari bol. I am telling that mind of mine that just sing Bhagwan Vishnu name once. Sing the name of Bhagwan Krishna. Ek baar hari bol. 99.9 times you go to Satsang, you sing a beautiful tune like this, and everybody is just sitting there looking at you as if you come from space. Join. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The name is so beautiful, it is so divine, that the more you immerse your mind just in the name, magic start happening inside. There's a transformation that is taking place. That you instantly starts to feel bliss, you start to feel peace, you start to feel tranquilized. You realize that there is some beauty in chanting God's name. Why? Because the fat lady outside recognizes that there is a divine individual inside the Russian doll. The outside is now connected with the inside. Now there is a connection that happens. Outside here, we can't feel happiness. Outside, we can't feel happiness. If I touch something nice and smooth, I feel the pleasure of touching. Isn't that so? But if you put your hand on fire, it takes a split second before you realize that it is hot. And the time that took you to take your hand off, it is already burnt. That is because it is not the hand that is feeling the heat. The connection has to be made upstairs. The connection has to be made at a different level. So we think that the sense of touch is at the hand, but no, it is at the brain. The same thing with taste. The same thing, I could have gone into some more detail with taste. I don't want to. You know, have you ever sit down and watch people drinking liquor? I used to have so much pleasure. You know, the guy throws thing in his mouth and make his mouth so bad. I wonder why the hell did he do that? You know? But you see the effect a little late. And then you wonder what's happening. You see, you taste something bitter, you taste something sour. The same thing happens. What happens is that it is not felt where it is actually happening. It is felt deeper down. Mane ek baar hari bol. Just sing the name once, O mind. So I'm having a conversation with my mind. You know, I'm putting it out there and I'm giving it some warning. I'm talking to it. I'm cautioning him. I'm probing him. I'm begging him. I'm doing so many things to him. And I'm asking my mind, oh, please, just sing Bhagwan name once. Is the mind causing you to sing? Or you're causing the mind to sing? This is what science is trying to find out. Science is trying to find out whether you are in control or something else is in control. Who is in control? Who is making the decision? Who is causing what is happening? And science is asking. Now that we are asking all this who question, we should ask also the what question and the why question. Why that person behaves like an idiot? Why is that person not trying to experience the core, the spirituality? Why that person is not trying to experience the greater happiness? Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam. Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, when the saints and sages sit down and they look at all the human, the householders and all the other people just running and running and running, it's just like you sit down one day and you watch these ants going that direction, going back that direction, going that direction, going that direction. The problem is all of them look alike, so you don't know which one went 90 million times back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until one truck come and just run over there, and then you see the running stops. All of a sudden running stops, and you wonder, what just happened? You know, what was all the back and forth about? You are still questioning. So when the saints and sages look at us, all they see is us running back and forth, and then we call them madans. You know, we call them madans. They're organized, but we call them mad. For whatever reason, because a madman is looking at an organized structure. You can't blame them. You have to blame your ability to understand what's going on down there. So this is what happens. So if we try to say that the mind is something that is universal, that we are all connected to, then we might start blaming each other. Oh, that one put too much madness into the mind. That's why I'm drawing madness. So I'm behaving this way because I am drawing from the same source that everybody is drawing. You ever hear people say, this America? You ever hear that statement? Anybody?
Yep.
That thing burns me so much when people say that. This America. That means everybody crazy, and it's all right if I am. Hare Krishna. So we need to start examining what we say and what we do. So we need to, let us do not look at mind from a universal standpoint. Let us look at it from an individual standpoint. I am in control. That's what we want to know. I am in control. I'm not being controlled from somewhere else. I am in control. I can tell my mind what to do, and my mind will have to do it. So that's the point of reference that I'd like to start from. Mere man mehra, mere tan mehra, mere nainon ki nazariya mein Ram hai, mere man Bhajan is saying that my mind is like a nice vessel. It's like, one of these nice goblets, that whatever I put into it, that is what I will draw from. That is what I will take from. So now I take my mind and I am busy putting into the mind what will bring me pleasure. What will bring me joy? What will bring me happiness? This is how we, again, look at the same mind from a whole different perspective rather than the first. Now I'm in control. Whatever I put in there, that is what I'm going to get out. Now let us ask ourselves the next question. The what question? What are we putting in? You can't put in poison and expect to draw nectar. The goblet does not have any mechanism that can transform it from poison to nectar. So it is simple. What you put in is what will come out. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambike Gauri Narayani Namastute. Sarva Mangala Mangale. There is one happiness that is so unique that when you enjoy that happiness, there is no more want. You are always in a state of supreme bliss. You are always in a state of joy. The world can turn upside down, but your mind would not go upside down. Your mind is always looking at things from a positive perspective. Have you ever seen people like those? No matter what is going wrong in the world, they only see the good that comes out of it. And there are some people that no matter what right is going on in the world, they can only see the bad. So there is something that happens now. What happens is that we are constantly, there is something that is called a habit. There's something, there are other definitions for them. I'm going to give you simple ones. There's something that is called habit. If you train your mind to see negative things everywhere, you can never see positive things anywhere. If you train your mind, on the other hand, to see positive things everywhere, you will never see anything negative. no matter what the circumstances or situation becomes. The reason for it is because you are developing a certain habit. Now, I've outlined a whole bundle of slok in Srimad Bhagavad Gita just now. I don't even know if I would want to open them. But Bhagwan Krishna was telling, Arjuna was telling Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Mana Chanchala, he says, oh Krishna, the mind is like a monkey. I can't have any control of it. It is like a deer, it is running back and forth all over the place. And I can't seem to have control over it. And what Bhagwan Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, abhyas, abhyas, abhyas. He says, never stop trying. Only when you constantly try, you will have total control over the mind. That the mind will only do what you want. The mind will not tell you what to do. At that point, you are in control. Hare Krishna. Devotees, if we do not train the mind, mana eka bar hari bol, just constantly utilize the mind. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Hare. Constantly keep the mind fixed. I was explaining to somebody the other day that 90% of our puja, when we do puja, 90% of our puja is hand movements. Feet, we bathe the murti, we dress them, we take it, and then we take it. What we're doing, you know what you're doing? Whenever you're bored, you whip out your phone and you take out the game. Long ago, if somebody tell you for wait, and you see one piece of paper aground, right? You will turn them, you watch them, you're waiting. But the waiting is very boring. You can't handle waiting. Nobody wants to wait, And then after a while, an hour and so pass, and then you realize that this one piece of paper is now in 100 pieces. You already break it up. And when you break it up, then you will see yourself trying to put all 100 pieces together as if them, I'm trying to put them back exactly like I had them before. Guess what you're doing? You're releasing the tension from your mind. Mantra Satyam, Puja Satyam. Only by doing puja that we're cultivating the mind. You have to sit down there. You have to spend the time. You have to put in the effort. You have to do puja. And don't come here with your laundry list. That's not puja. That's bribery. People get jailed for those things. People get jailed for those things. You bribe somebody, you get jailed. When you come, do it because you want to undo all the negatives within you. Not to come to beg one banana for $1,000. Cost you 5 cents a store, cost Bhagwan $1,000. In the best he go buy him a store. Well, you go buy him. So devotees, this is so we're going to look at one little short katha from Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana. evam manushas shastamajam swayamanushishyastanati lokanushasanatam mahanubhavah paramasuhrit bhagavad nrishabhapadesha upashmashilanam karmanam mahamuninam bhakti jnana viragya lakshanam paramahansya dharma upashritakshanam. So in this Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, Bhagwan Vishnu has many forms, but we don't know all the forms. Normally, we are not too concerned about all the forms. We are mostly concerned with 10 forms we call the Maha Avatar. And those 10 Avatar, we are very much fascinated with. The other ones, we need to learn a little bit about them. So there was there, Sri Sukdev ji कहते हैं, Rajan ऋषभदेव जी के पुत्र यद्यपि स्वयं ही सब प्रकार सुशिक्षित थे, तो भी लोगों को शिक्षा देने के उपदेश महाप्रभावशील परम सुहृद भगवान ऋषभदेव उन्हें इस प्रकार उपदेश दिया। ऋषभदेव जी 100 पुत्रों भरत सबसे भरे थे। So this Rishabdev, he was once a king, and he ruled very justly. Everybody loved their king. He was such a good king. You know, where there is a good king, all the subjects are living in heaven. Where there is a bad king, then all the subjects are only worrying about what is going to happen next. And they start worrying. But Rishabdev was such a king that he was very gentle and he looked after all the needs of all the subjects. More so, Rishabdev was not only the king of one small piece of land. Rishabdev, according to Srimad Bhagavat, was the king of the earth. He, however, called his 100 sons, and he spent tremendous amount of energy and time in teaching all his 100 sons the highest principle of happiness. The highest principle of happiness, for them to enjoy internal bliss and not to worry about the external body too much. And finally, he said, look, I have had enough of this, and now it is my turn to not worry about the subjects anymore. It is not my worry to worry about the kingdom anymore. It is not my worries to worry about the khajana, about what is in the chest, what is in the safe anymore. It is not my business to worry about any of all these belongings that I have. So he called his eldest son, and his eldest son is called Bharata. And he gave the kingdom to his eldest son. That's why India was named Bharat. And I just heard somebody this afternoon saying, it was news to me, that Prime Minister Modi is trying to change the name from India again to Bharat. And that would be a day that would definitely be a blessing. That is when we will realize that our scriptures were history and they were not fairy tales. When we come to understand that, now then we will realize that these books were history books. They were not fairy tales. So he called his eldest son and he gave the kingdom to him. The other 99 sons, they participated in helping their brother run the kingdom. He gave them everything he had. And then the next thing he did was took off all his clothing, every single piece, and he also gave those away. And he walked out into the open world. The only thing he could not have given away was, I want one person to tell me. One thing he could not give away, devotees, that he had to carry with him. That was also a burden, and that is his body. He could not give away his body, he had to take it with him. And that body that he was taking was also a burden. You gotta feed him. You gotta take care of it. Even though you don't have any clothes, which is not a necessity, but you still want food. You still gotta feed them, you still gotta give them thing to drink, and you still have to carry it with you wherever you go. So he did. वे भगवान के परम भक्त और भक्तों के परायण थे। ऋषभदेव जी पृथ्वी पालन करने के लिए उन्हें राज गद्दी पर बैठा दिया और and I've explained that necessities. जार अंधे बहरे गूंगे पिशाच और पागलों की सी चेष्टा करते हुए. So then he walked out, and when he walked out, he said, look, there's one thing I can do that I do not have to worry with anybody outside, but I need to start thinking about my inside. I'm carrying this shell, but this is what I will do. I will not talk to a single soul. No conversation. Anytime we get into a conversation, we're talking somebody's name. If we not talk somebody's name, we're talking nonsense. But we find something to say that is irrelevant to our inner bliss. As a matter of fact, most of the time we talk, what we're doing is losing vital energy that would have given us inner bliss. Anybody here ever stop for half an hour? Just sit down there in the middle of everything, but don't talk for half an hour. You feel how blissful that would be. Don't talk for half an hour, just the mouth. Raji Krish can tell you the experience. We went to Trinidad, you know, and these gentlemen here, we went to Trinidad, and when we went to Trinidad, we went on a Sangha camp. And there, first thing when you wake up in the morning, you're going to go brush your teeth, you're going to go do everything else, and you're going to take care of everything. But from the moment you wake up, the person that is in your room, there's no conversation going on. You're not talking to them. They're not talking to you. And then you go brush your teeth, you go do all your chores, you're meeting everybody, everybody's walking, passing you, you're walking, passing them. You know, you don't respond to them, you don't talk to them, and you just keep going. You just keep going. Let me tell you something. When half an hour is over, and you finally open your mouth to talk, you don't even know what to say. Because the bliss you were enjoying all the time, the moment you open your mouth to speak, you will be speaking some kind of garbage. No matter how important it is that you're talking, it takes the bliss away from you. So Rishabh Ji, he decided that he was not going to speak to nobody. He decided that he was not going to look at the world around him. So he walked with his eyes closed like one blind man. And then he decided that, look, I'm not going to move. So he went from one place to the other, and finally he lied on one place. Something is wrong with that. Believe me. If you can't go to the bathroom, what will happen? A bathroom will come to you. You know those situations? I mean, situation. So this is what happened. Healthy man. But he refused to get up. And everything started happening right there. And he was there, lying like a python in his own urine and feces. And that went on for a while. And then people will see him, and when people see him, the first thing will come to their mind. What do you think the first thing will come to their mind? He is not normal. He's abnormal. He's not behaving normal. Everything about him is now abnormal. People start throwing stones on him, kicking him, playing fun with him. Have you ever done those things to people who... We come from Guyana.
Yes.
You know, people in India still does it. If you try doing it here, they will throw you in jail. But most of the time you do it anyway. The guy come to your window, he knocks your window, he puts his hand out and he says, "Where do you walk?" You know, you are abusing. You might not physically hit the person, but the hate that you will exert for that couple of seconds before the light change is worse than hitting the person. But because the law hasn't gone to that extent, you get away. But even in a country that is so sophisticated and developed and the one that you're living in, we do the same thing. We've never changed. Hare Krishna. Devotees, they kick him and they literally spit on him. And then he will be lying down there and he will not utter a word. He will not respond. He will not reciprocate. He will just lie down there. but something was happening. I will close with that thought. Iti nan na yoga chadya charano bhagavan kaivalya patir rishabho virata para mahananda nubhava. He was lying down there, and he was not worrying about the outside. He did not care what was happening outside. By this point, anybody here ever go close to a bomb that defecate on themselves, urinate on themselves, and walk around just like everybody's normal? If you never had the experience, you just walk in one carriage of the train that one of them sit down inside. Everybody will scatter. You run out of that carriage instantly. You run out of the carriage because something is wrong. What is wrong? You have good smelling. You think that person who defecate on themselves and urinate on themselves don't have good smelling? They do. But they don't smell it. Have you ever, you guys don't. I have to thank God sometimes that I've been a housing inspector for a little bit. You know, I've gone into everybody's kind of apartment. I can tell you something that will turn your whole stomach upside down. I had experiences. You know, I walked into one apartment once. This is a nice program. Very expensive these days. You know, I walked into one apartment. This lady was sitting watching her TV. Everything is normal. You know, when you walk on the carpet, it will go. Your shoe literally stick on it. And if you are not careful enough, you slip and you fall on the carpet because there's so much goo on the floor. I've seen it. I've seen walk into the kitchen, and if you take one spoon like this and you put it on top of the pile, it falls down to the ground. It would not stay in the sink. You know why, right? The sink look like this. You know? The sink look like this. That you put one spoon, it will fall to the floor because there's nothing else can hold in it. And I'll tell you one other nice thing. God being my witness. I swear 1,000 times over. There was a frying pan that was sitting on the counter, right in the kitchen. And the mold that grew on the frying pan is green. The oil was about this thick. The mold is this high, green. And a rat this size was eating the oil, already eat more than a quarter of the greasy oil. That is now like a cake eating. And the lady sit down comfortable, watch TV while I'm going around doing the inspection. This is normal. She lives in a normal world. The world is normal for her. Is your world normal? That you have the most sophisticated things in your house. Do you think there is any difference between you and that individual? What you're doing You're living to the conformity of the majority. That lady is living to the conformity of the minority. The majority always say that the minority is abnormal. When we were in Guyana, I can stick my finger in my nose and search for everything that is inside there, and nobody has any problem. And you come here and they say, "Chi." You know, you come out here and you just put your hand on your nose and nobody wants to touch you no more. All of a sudden, you become dirty. You know? Do you realize that? It was normal back in Guyana, how come it's normal here? Because the majority here, they practice a certain way, and now you become abnormal because you are in what is seemingly normal. Devotees, but all them people, no matter what them wear, no matter what them own, no matter what their titles are, no matter whatever they have in and around them, devotees, the only thing they're complaining about is their state of mind. There's no shanti, there's no happiness, there's no bliss. Hare Krishna. That lady sitting comfortable watching TV. She's normal. She's enjoying the same state of mind that you're experiencing. No difference. She's enjoying exactly the same state of mind you're enjoying. Only that you think that they're not abnormal. If you ask her, she thinks you are abnormal. Hare Krishna. So something is wrong with you. What is wrong with you? You have not experienced God. Rishabh Dev. With all that you see happening outside, inside, Vyasji wrote that there is a Paramahansa. Paramahansa means that there is one swan, a unique swan. The bird that flies the highest into the sky sees the whole earth and has such a vision that the whole earth, she sees this most minute animals running around. Which bird is that one? The eagle. The eagle soars high and has a perfect vision. And even has a perfect hearing that can hear from that height. But when it swerves down onto another creature and eats that creature. None creature wants to see the eagle, even though he is so highly respectable because of his ability to soar high. His mind is still in the gutters. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Devotees. But there is this one bird that is called the Paramahansa, that only that bird alone can see itself. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nobody can see that bird. You can hear about it, but you can't see it. Because only that bird can see itself. In the brightest day and in the darkest night, that bird alone can see itself. Devotees, when your saints and sages sit down in meditation, when an ordinary human being like yourself and me sit down in meditation and we see that fat lady inside, that solid element in the Russian doll, that is always blissful, that is full, that is not empty, when we can go inside and find Bhagwan and we connect with him, only me can understand that. You can't understand. I don't care how much I try to explain to you. At that point, we're distant apart. We are so distant apart that you can't understand what is going on in my mind. And I am looking at you only simply as another fool. Why don't you experience what I'm experiencing? Hare Krishna. Devotees, it requires to fill the mind. It requires to fill the mind. With only what is blissful. Mane ek baar hari bol. Rishabji, just lie down there. The body, the clothes that he was carrying on his body was heavy, and he cast them away. He could not physically cast away his body, but Jai-ho, not Jai-ho, Jai-ho, he can mentally cast it away. Hare Krishna. This is what is called yoga. This is what is called meditation. This is when the devotee and Bhagwan meets inside and they are experiencing the same Aham Brahmasmi. When the devotee and Bhagwan are together, Sat Chit Ananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadhetave Tapatra Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. That is when the universal being and the sense which is also universal becomes one. That Rishabh Dev was Bhagwan Vishnu. That's why I tell you that Bhagwan will look different. That Rishabh Dev was Bhagwan Vishnu, who came upon the face of this earth to show us that the body which you cherish so much means nothing, and the mind which you think you have and is so advanced is not different from the lady in Brooklyn. Hare Krishna. Man ek baar hari bol. Hari 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 Hari
Hari Hari Hari Bolo.
Bhava Sindhu
Pare Haro. Bhava Sindhu Pare Haro. Hari Patita Pavana. Hari
Excellent, excellent.
Somebody can see if you can fit in the suitcase. I don't have any use for it. Thank you.
But well done, Kanaji. It always is a pleasure to listen to you speak. And the way you explain things is very thorough, very understanding. And I have to say to our audience, to our family, give yourself a round of applause. Everybody was so attentive. So well done.
Except your son.
It's okay.
Well, we have little ones around. You're the only two, so.
That's all.
I would like to give Pandit Ji, Pandit Deodat, I say Pandit Mamu, an opportunity to say something.
With other talk on the yoga side, I don't think I need to say anything more. They say that, but first let's wish Indy a free birthday greetings, no? Yeah. Bhagwan blessing our third, and of course Riksha too, no?
Oh, yeah.
See, Riksha, if you don't stuck out Riksha, you know, that's fine.
Happy birthday.
They say that man can tie an elephant with a shred. But to control the mind, very tough. But like Panjuka said, Bhagwan Krishna told us, abhyas. But if you try, it's possible. Because there is nothing impossible in Hindu Dharma. Like they say, where is a will, there is a way. But the things we don't want to control it. We just wanted to let it go, loose like that. And Bhagwan Krishna also told Arjuna that we have to make a choice. Our mind can be our best friend, best of friend, and our greatest enemy. It's our choice. Please join me in this prayer. As you seek Bhagwan's divine grace and blessings to be within the Riksha, the family, always. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Radha Namastute. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Prem to Radha Vrinda Vihara Radha.
Well done, Panditji. Even though you didn't have to add anything to what Pandit said, we still have to hear your voice, regardless. So thank you so much.
Welcome everybody, and happy birthday, Indy. Well,
Yes.
I'm sure if I'll make it tomorrow. So one of the benefits of being up, Panditji asked me to come up closer, is I get to see like how beautiful you look today, and you look so peaceful today.
Oh,
It's
wow.
it's so nice to see. Very nice to see. Yes, and I can see you put your heart and soul into like creating today, and may God bless you completely. You and Riksha and Chan and Dab and and Divanand and Baba, you're a great blessing to our community. You're always there, puja, shrad, whatever it is. So our community is blessed to have all of you. So with God's blessings. I wanted to chant. I'll ask Roshni and Anushka to help me chant. And Jeremy has the iPad, he could bring it up. So this special chant, So Janmashtami just went by, and the story about how Bhagwan Krishna came. So Kamsa was behaving very badly. I'll give you this one and I'll finish. Yeah, so Kamsa was behaving badly. Mother Earth went to Brahmaji, all of them went, and they went to pray to the Supreme Lord to please, please, please come help, save us. And the Bhagavatam says they chanted the Purusha Suktam. So when I first learned the Purusha Suktam, I was like, when I first heard it actually, I was just blown away, the energy of it and all of that. And then we chanted this Janmashtami night, and I was telling our little congregation that just think, Narad Muni was there chanting this, Indra Bhagwan was there, Brahmaji was there, Lord Shiva was there. We get to chant the same thing. Thanks to all the Rishi Mahatmas who learn it and pass it down from lips to ears, lips to ears, lips to ears, all the way to Point Siana, all the way here today. So we're gonna chant this together, and and after they were finished chanting, they heard Bhagwan's voice. We're not like so sattvic to chant it that to cause anybody to hear Bhagwan's voice, but maybe you are so sattvic that you will hear it anyway. So just listen attentively, just sit quietly. It's a beautiful chant. And Panditji was talking about the mind. So actually these Vedic chants is how you tune the mind. The body, you can take it to the gym and you can exercise it and you can massage it and all of that. But how you tune the mind is with these Vedic chants, because they go up and down very, very precisely. And the Mahatma says this is how you do it. So Roshni and Anushka will chant, Ormi and I will join.
Om Sahasrashirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapa Sabhumim Vishvato Vritva Atyatishta Dashangulam Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yad Shabhavyam Udamritatvasye Shanaha Yanannena Tirohati Edahanasya Mahima Ato Jaya Kasya Purushaha Padosya Vishabhutani Tripadasya Divi Tripadurvaude Purusha Padosya Bhavat Puraha Tato Vishvandyakramatar Sashananashane Avi Tasmad Virana Jayata Virajo Adipurushaha Sajato Atyarichyata Paschad Bhumi Mato Puraha Yat Purushena Havisha Deva Yajnamatanvata Vasanto Asya Sirajam Grishma Idva Sharadavihi Sartasya Sanparidayaha Trisakta Samida Kritaha Devayat Yajnam Tanmanaha Avadnan Purusham Pashum Tam Yajnam Vaihishi Prakshamna Purusham Jatamagrataha Tena Deva Ayajanta Sadya Rishayaschaye Tasmad Yajna Sarvahutaha Sampritam Prishadajam Pashugastagaschakre Vayamyana Adanya Gramyaschaye Tasmad Yajna Sarvahutaha Rishasamani Jagnire Chandagam Si Jagnire Tasmad Yajustasmad Ajayata Tasmadashva Ajayanta Ye Kesho Payatataha Kavo Ajagnire Tasmad Tasmad Jata Ajavayaha Yat Purusham Vyadadu Katidavya Kalpayan Mukham Kirasya Kaubahu Kavuru Pada यस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षुः सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणावायुरजायत नाभ्या आसीदन्तरिक्षं शेषोऽद्यौ समवर्तत पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दिशश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागम् अकल्पयन् वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वा विवदन् यदास्ते तदा पुरस्ताद्यमुदा जहार शक्राब्रविद्वान् परीक्षश्च तस्रः तमेवं विद्वान् अमृतय भवति नान्यपन्था अयनाय विद्यते यज्ञेन यज्ञायजन्त देवाः तानि धर्माणि प्रथमां यासन् ते अनाकं महिमानः सजन्ते यज्ञ पूर्वे सार्या सन्ति देवाः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम् हरि ओम्
बोलो सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान
की जय. Beautifully done. Girls, well done. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's give them a round of applause. And you know, I haven't seen these girls in such a long time.
That means they're not going there.
Yeah, we just
No.
No, put back the mic. Use an
This one has to go.
It's okay, they just turn.
Now,
Oh my God, it's such a special evening. First of all, putting all of this together and saying, every day I kept saying that, I'm talking to Bhagwan Krishna and telling him I don't want any rain to fall today. But then I'm thinking that I remember my mom telling me vaguely that my coming into this world, tomorrow would be like 60 years, coming into this world that it was raining tremendously. And I came into this world around 5:30 a.m. on a Monday. So it was raining, so I guess it's all putting all together. As Panaji says, 60 years is a special number in terms of figure years in your life. But significantly, there's so much more adding factors, like adding into the years. So tonight, as I'm sitting here with each one of you, my dear brothers and sisters, first let me say thank you, Pandit Yoganand, for when I called you, you were the first one I called to say, Pandit, this is what I would like to do for my birthday. And having that thought in my mind to say that that's what I would like to have for my birthday, you're saying that it's okay, go ahead. Tell me right away, now you're giving me like the whole road to run. I say, you just take it and keep going. So from then I started extending invitations out to all my loved ones. And some of you, probably that are not here, but the majority that are here tonight, I want to say thank you from my heart. Thank you so much for taking the time and coming and sharing with, especially me, this very evening here. Although Riksha name is calling, yes, he's my support and everything else, but you're here because you wanted to celebrate my birthday with me. So I want to say thank you for taking. And tomorrow evening is not going to be any different as well. I'm also will be very happy. Again, take a little bit of your time and to come and spend it with me. One thing that for sure that each one of you are doing this evening, each one of you, and that's including myself, God chose all of you to be here with me this evening, and that's a true fact. And if God chose each one of you to be with me this evening, that's to say that each one of you hold a special space in my heart. Each one of you. And that's to say that my love for each one of you, I count my blessing, first of all, for God choosing to send me into this material world and to give me the opportunity to meet each one of you on an individual basis. So for me, it's a blessing. Because the path, as you travel through life, you never know who you're going to meet. And as you meet, Some of them, you're going to love them dearly. And some of them, you're still going to love them, but you're going to say, God, they can't close their mouth. Oh my God, when they're going to stop. So again, it's truly a blessing in my life to have each one of you. And this is such a closeness in my heart. So I want to say thank you so much, each one of you. As God chose each one of you to be here with me this evening, I say thank you, Bhagwan Krishna. And that's one. And number two is you yourself, think about it. This evening, God chose each one of you to be here for a reason. Because you could have been doing something really different at home, God knows what. Watching TV, fighting with each other, gossiping about somebody. You could have been doing a world of different things, but God chose each one of you, as I said, to be here this evening because He's giving all of us an opportunity to listen to a great lecturer, bringing the message directly from our text. He's not making it up. He's bringing it directly from the text for each one of us. And tonight the topic dealing with the mind, which is huge. This mind, I'm telling you, it is so full of different thoughts. You close your eye for 1 second, and I says, stay with me. You cannot stay with me, because the mind takes you to so many different places and bring you back in 1 second. So again, the mind is not easy to control, but tonight we all have an opportunity to listen, that if you take a speck of your time each day and connect yourself with your God. You have to. You have your God, you give your God a name. You have to build that relationship with your God as well. But your mind must be intact with your God. Mine is, and that's the truth, I can speak on behalf of myself. I love Bhagwan Krishna to death. I talk to him every single day. And I talk to him in the baby form because I feel that's the way how we can really get connected. Every time I talk to Bhagwan Krishna, I say, Bhagwan Krishna, I want you to give me good health and strength. Whatever you've sent me into this world, let me continue to do that. Because I feel for every good act I do, I am making a very, very good bet to sleep hereafter for myself. And so my encouragement to all of you is finally deliver that beautiful message. I'm telling you, we cannot pay you. We're going to pass around with RT this evening. And I ask all of you, whatever you could put in there, we cannot pay Pandit Ji for that beautiful message he sent to all of us this evening. But whatever you could put in there is going to go directly back to the mandir. So our RT is going to come around.